how I know I'm going to be successful. And you're probably wondering, yo, well, if everyone knew they're going to be successful, everyone would be successful, right? If they knew they're going to be successful, then they're not going to stress about it. They're not going to overthink it. They're not going to procrastinate. Like, they know they're going to be successful. But that's the thing. In reality, you're never going to know. And the only way you know is by having belief in yourself and believing yourself that you're going to be successful. It's going to be a matter of time, right? Of course, it's going to take the work, the consistency, and all these different factors, but just believing yourself that you're actually going to be successful by putting in this work. And that's how I know I'm going to be successful. Before I do a lot of yapping, right, I'm going to go get a haircut. So that's the first thing we're going to do before I get into talking into the video and explaining how I know I'm going to be successful. But I just want you to understand, it's not like I know. It's more like I believe in myself, and these steps I'm taking right now will be the impact in my life that will, put me in that position to be successful, to get lucky, which then leads to being successful, right? But I'm putting myself in that position, and I'd like to do yapping, later in the video. But let's go get my haircut because I'm looking like a mushroom right now. I just got my test. We're on the bike now. Let's go to get a haircut. We're gonna do some yapping on the way, obviously, because when you're moving your booty, I feel like the brain generates like wisdom. You know what I'm saying? But on the topic, I was saying how I know I'm gonna be successful. As corny as it may sound, number one thing is belief. Belief in myself and belief what I'm doing. That's one of the biggest things. Just having that belief, because when you believe in yourself, there's no doubt, there's no negative emotions to put you down, right? Because you have that positive thing, that belief in yourself that you will get yourself out of your shitty situation or whatever you're going on with life, and believing that you will become the solution. Oh my, it's speeding up like crazy. That's one of the things I have. It might be windy because I'm not going to the speed of light, I'm not going to lie. The other thing is, how do you actually build up that belief? I'm looking at the worst situation in my life right now. I'm broke. I have $400 in my bank account. I have no car. I might get evicted. I have no money. Sadly, society makes you depend on money to actually be able to live a prosperous life. And that financial freedom is how you reach your actual independence. Like, my whole life, I never had real independence. Always depending on others. Until I had to start believing in myself that I don't need anyone else. I just need myself. And that's all. And low-key, the people who think dude, how can you believe in yourself even if you're in the worst situation, if you made mistakes or stuff like that? But that's the thing. In life, you need to learn. Sometimes you're not even learning from your mistakes. You just reinforce it behind more negative emotions instead of learning. I did a lot of things, or mistakes, or stuff like that. My whole childhood, when life was shitty, I just found distractions, and I never learned why, and I never learned how to get better. I just stayed in that same state. And that's on my other video where I talked about oscillations, where just people keep living up and down. They never learn and they never try to grow. But that's how you grow, is just starting to learn and actually taking these lessons from life. Your life isn't going to be perfect. You're going to have mistakes. You're going to have and sometimes you're going to even win. And when winning does feel good, you might make a mistake and it might mess up your life. But at the end of the day, you're going to start learning from your mistakes. as simple as it may sound, it's simple as that, and actually learn. Not just like, oh yeah, I should have just blah blah blah. Like, let's say I drink alcohol, I should have just yeah, I swear I had something in my pocket. I'm trying to get motivational, but I swear I had something in my pocket, I think. Right? Yeah, let me do a double check before we keep on going. Bye bye, guys. Yeah, I have my card. That's the street so busy. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. How about if I'm all over the place and try to multitask? Right? If you want. At the same time, this towards me, right? Because once again, this channel is for me to document my journey and my life. You know, right now I'm treating it as a journal, just being consistent with it. At the same time, you know, I want people who are my boat to also learn. And the best way to learn is finding yourself in those similar situations and trying to do what other people did, because that's the thing. You know, life is experience. The more experience you have, the more value you have. And I think that's one of the things I'm here to bring to the world is, things that I went through, and when I thought like it's never gonna get better, I didn't accept this mediocrity. And I don't even know what the hell I said, but you get what I mean. So I'm just trying to it's hard to bike and just like I said, yeah, wisdom comes out, but like every once in a blast. But let's go through the steps how I know I'm gonna be successful. One, all these mistakes, right? Like probably 2 years ago is when I actually started learning. Like, okay, this happened because this happened, or why did I do this because this happened? And just learning from my habits and my reactions to things in life and changing how I react and make choices to, better myself. And it's not like I just woke up one day and wanted to be perfect, because you're never going to be perfect. But I just woke up and that mindset changed, and I started learning and started making those mistakes less and getting better. And, even right now, right? Like, I'm being really consistent with work for the last, since I started, I've been every single day working, which is one of the things I'm proud of. But there's still another boat, right, with exercise. And that's one of the things that, I'm still working on. And even though it's getting better, right, there's still moments where I don't show the same consistency as I would with work, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not obsessed to make money. I'm obsessed to grow as a person. And I just learned that through time and looking at my mistakes and all these different things. But going to step one is, once again, learning your mistakes, all the things you've been doing in life, and start reacting in life positively. And that's what I did, when I looked at my situation. It's like, I want to get better, and I started learning to get better, through other people's experiences, obviously YouTube, stuff like that. Oh, my phone's already on low battery. Dude, this guy just pulled up in front of me. Like, nice, bro. Get the hell out the way. But after that, I just started doing things, and I started building these skills. Like, crazy to think about all these things I've been learning, like playing video games, sitting on my ass cheeks every day, has made work really easy. To sit on my computer and work every day easy, because it's one of those habits I adapted through, when my life was ass, right? I was still getting these skills and learning these things, and I was implementing them to better myself. And of course, I started learning new things, and when I really wanted to find ways to get rich, one, I had the shiny object syndrome, like everyone. Like, you see all these different opportunities, but it's not about the opportunity. There is no perfect time. And once I learned that, it's just to find something, and I stuck with it. And that's what I'm doing. Like, I would say, I found this AI agency pretty early. Like, it's still pretty new, but I could have quit a long time ago because I haven't seen results, and that's the thing. That's the bad thing about shiny object syndrome. You're depending on other people instead of yourself and your work ethic. And I'm not going to stop until I see success. With any business now, you can be rich with anything, right? Anything. Like, you just got to find your boat and stick with it. Because once you have a consistent boat, you can leverage that to start expanding. And that's what people do. You find something that works. Most successful people, they find something that works, and then they start leveraging that, and then the money they use from that, they use it for other things just to keep expanding and growing. Like one famous guy named Iman. Bro, why are my balls like that? I'm sorry, guys. I need to pause. My balls are like swiveling, like weirdly, like I feel them juggling. No joke. Okay. I think my balls are intact now. Okay. Better do a good job, but everyone knows Iman. He had an SMMA, right? He found success with that because he stuck with it for a good amount of time. Then he leveraged that money, and then he started using it to grow his info business or all these different things. He just kept doing that, and started new businesses and just growing and becoming more successful. Because people always focus on the outcome, right? But not about the process. And that's the biggest thing you should be focused on, is on the process. Start with something, stick with it, and then you can keep growing. It'll take some time, but it'll be worth it at the end, right? All your dreams, whatever it is. Bro, why are my balls? I think it's because, dude, I feel like my balls, bro. And my undies are just showing, bro. Not bad. But yeah, all these different skills is what you learn through life. And just be grateful for your situation. Yeah, I learned so many different skills. With all the different things I try to make money with, meme coins, all these different things. I learned these skills, like website building. And then, in the end of the day, an entrepreneur is leveraging all those skills. You don't have to perfect them, right? You have people who already perfect them for you. And with their help, you just grow and become better. That kind of makes sense, right? So you don't have to be perfect for everything. It's got to be efficient and got to have belief in yourself. But yeah, that's basically what I did. I learned all those skills. I learned from my mistakes. Got invested in myself, right? Of course, with like gym stuff and whatever I need, just become a better version of myself. I invested in myself, invested in learning, and then now I'm just sticking with this thing until I find success. And I know I will, because I'm not going to stop. And at the end of the day, you just got to accept that you're never going to know how long it's going to take. It could take a month when you start. It could take a year. It could take 10 years. But you just accept the process and you stick with it. And that's how you're going to be successful. And that's how I know I'm going to be successful. And because I also, when I did some research on some other people, right, who are successful now, they had the same thing, right? They started building these beliefs, learning from their mistakes, learning, like, for one of the examples that was big in my life, is stop being dependent on motivation and just be disciplined. And discipline isn't about waking up at 5 a.m. every day. It's about doing the things you don't want to do. And that's discipline. And I implement that to my life. And that's one of the reasons I'm able to be consistent, because I understand it. I understand the process. I understand what I have to do. I understand I'm going to fail, but when I fail, I need to learn. And all these different things until I succeed. And even when you're successful, right, you're still going to fail. But now you have more leverage. You have more skills, more experience. and all these different things. Life isn't going to be sunshine and rainbows. You just accept that. Just do the work you have to do for however long you want to do it, and understand you're never going to know when you're going to be successful, but you know you're going to be successful because you're believing in yourself and you understand the process. And that's how I know. I think that's mostly how I explained it well. And I know it's probably the worst place to explain it, but at the end of the day, this is a journal, right? You're probably watching this, maybe old you're well, or you're well in the future. Watch this, it's like, wow. And dude, I believe in you, bro. And to the person who isn't you well, whoever's watching this, and when I'm already successful, because I know I will be. I don't know when, but I know it'll be soon, right? But just listen to what I said and implement in your life. If life sucks so bad right now, start learning from your mistakes. Start learning while you're there, your decision, your choices, and learn. Learn from failing and never put yourself down for failing. It's a normal thing in life. You need to fail to learn. You just got to accept that. It's literally the process of life. That's how life even got started. Just by failing and learning. Like, think about it where, I don't know, some people don't believe in evolution, but you know, all our ancestors or all these different animals, they had to die to learn and build these reinforcements. And those reinforcements allow you to continue on with your life and your process. Hopefully that makes sense. How am I supposed to be the opposite side? Oh my God, it's bad as hell! Oh, I'm cooked! One thing important. Oh my! Look at those army choppers. I don't know if you can see it. They're in the air. You see them? 1, 2. Nice. We're getting airstrike, bro. We're getting airstrike. And when I go, like, I want people to like me for me. Like, I just want to be myself and be authentic and just be me. I know I'll be me. There's no. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video now because I need to somehow find a way.
What is up, everyone? I got a haircut. I don't have the mic right now, so the quality might be bad. I had to stop because I'm at 10%, and I just biked for 1 hour to get my haircut, but it was worth it. Now I'm eating some food at this weird chicken place. So we're gonna feast and then bike home. Then get to work and start recording some videos.